Hello soldiers, it's Dev Time Note again. Sorry to have kept you all waiting for so long. We've been dying to bring you some more news on the game and there's a lot of exciting updates to be covered today. As mentioned in the previous episode, we'll be talking about the changes made to each Super Soldiers and also looking through some of the balance work we've been putting through. Everything we're updating for you today may be subject to change in the future, so please keep that in mind. The development team has been focusing on each soldier's tiniest details to further maximize the fun factor when using unique skills and ultimates. We've also made some adjustments to any skills and perks which were unintentionally obscuring your team play. Finally, there's been some minor tweaks here and there for balancing, so let's get right into it. Gatling Soldier's ultimate has been improved so that you are now able to roll around the battlefield more daringly and make skillful maneuvers. We expect Gatling to establish himself as a strategic fighter who can create many variables in battles. It's important to remember that your armor will increase while wielding the Gatling gun and that you will no longer take damage by your own Spitfire. If you collide with other characters while rolling, the roll's cool time will reduce so that you can make swift moves to shake the minds of the enemy. Gatling Rollout. Shotgun Master was taking full advantage of his high DPS, tanky hit points, and a very versatile set of skills and ultimates. He was a little extreme when it came to close quarter combat. So while Shotgun Master's close range dominance will be nerfed a little, he will also be getting a buff where his secondary specialized weapon will no longer be restricted to sniper rifles only, granting him much more potential in mid-range combat. Shotgun Master will also gain less bonus damage from his weapon's upgrade mastery and will also gain less hit points from his physical training perk. We've also increased the cooldown on Super Jump to add more risk to the entry-escape pattern that Shotgun Master tends to go with. Lastly, the Sniper Rifle specialization has now been unlocked to randomly select all types of weapon categories with the exclusion of shotguns. Sniper received a nice amplifier improvement so that the effective range is very clear to the eye. Also, by greatly adjusting the area of effect on the Precision Bomb perk, he is now a bigger threat with flexible combat methods. You will now be able to check your amplifier radius on the minimap, and your Precision Bomb can now be activated without being restricted by your character's location or positioning. The bomb itself will no longer be blocked or wasted by colliding with little objects and branches, so you will be able to damage your opponent even if they are hiding behind cover. That's scary. Gas Soldier was under investigation because the toxic smoke grenades were damaging teammates in duo and squad modes. Now, allies are safe from the poisonous gas and can roam around freely. He sends his apologies. Marine really took on his name lately and has been improved to better perform near water and amphibious conditions. He'll also be receiving a powerful skill that can contend against enemies positioned at high altitudes or has high jumping vertical advantages. Marine also has a lot more freedom sitting and going prone in some waters, and once emerging out of wet conditions, the amphibious assault perk will last longer, providing the fighting edge he needs. Finally, an anti-air skill will be added to pressure enemies in a high area or has improved jumping abilities. Don't forget, when near water, you can counter. Teleporter received a lot of feedback that the ultimate teleport was very difficult to perceive. Now, whenever teleport has been used, it will leave a distinguishable trace so that others can know that a teleporter was nearby. So be sure to stay on full alert when you see one. SWAT was not super impressive at indoors fighting as intended, so to boost their performance, we're improving some of the skills and upgrading the Blackout ultimate to better suit team play situations. Blackout used to create the Dark Zone at the original initiation point. but it will now create the dome at the center of the soldier after the casting has been completed, meaning that you will now always be at the center of the blackout when the effect first triggers. Also, allies who are outside the dome can now see the players inside the blackout. Finally, Breach and Clear will now have a bigger blast, which also deafens enemies, all while SWAT is not affected negatively in any ways. We'll see how this one shakes things up. Firearms Expert will be buffed with a quicker reload time and a perk that allows him to carry extra ammo in a bigger magazine. The force field will also be adjusted so that it will no longer confuse your allies. The Tactical Reload will quicken the reload speed of your 2 specialized weapons from the red perk category, allowing you an even stronger lasting firepower and transition. Also, the force field effect will no longer be seen by allies, and therefore it will not confuse them by the glassy effects. Keep in mind, however, that you will still be slowed once inside the dome. Better slow than losing though, right? Driver will now be acquiring his vehicle at a faster pace and will also be able to summon cars more frequently. His role in team play has been improved, and his viability has also been given an upgrade to give a better fighting chance in solo mode. When inside the driver's vehicle, allies will no longer take damage from jumping out of cars which the driver is driving. Monster Truck's cooldown has also been greatly reduced, and the vehicle has been worked on so that it can cruise on many more terrains in different conditions. Lastly, watch out for Nitro because it is now a big bang of a bomb, and the driver will also be able to detect gunfire sounds to locate enemies nearby. This one's back with a fierce drive. Specialized weapons, class ultimate, and skills are one of the most important systems of Super People. We're keeping a close eye and an open mindset to many of the feedback given to us from all of you. We know how much you guys care for the balance, and we won't stop working to create that nice balance between our soldiers. Next part is the class reroll system. We found out that players tend to prefer certain soldiers much more than others, and many of you asked to be given the choice of being able to select a soldier you want to play in the lobby. We've had hot debates on this one and came up with this solution. You will still enter a lobby with a random assigned soldier class, but if you wish to play a different soldier, you will now be able to have 2 different options: the original random reroll or the ability to select the soldier you'd like to play. We're still working on this one, and we'll be bringing you further updates later down the line. One of the newly added features is a survivors list, where you can see all the remaining players and their classes. We hope this will distribute the class population a bit more evenly through picks and counter picks. As you can see, we'll be testing out the option of directly selecting soldier classes, as well as introducing the survivors list to add a new layer to the strategic decision making in the lobby and in-game. If these systems do not turn out as we expect, we could of course revert back to the old system and try look for a different solution. In addition to the changes made to the classes, there are other changes we're bringing to the game. First, there's a new way for all trap category skills to be shown to you. When you install a trap, it will now show an icon which will be displayed on the minimap. And when these traps are activated by you or your enemies, it will let you know by triggering a sound informing you of the situation. If you ever damage your opponent, your damage log will now be displayed very clearly for you to see how much damage was inflicted to the enemy. Your current firearm damage has been added to the main UI, allowing you to see how strong your upgrade performance is. Flash effects from the firearm muzzle has been improved to better indicate where the enemy is firing from. Long distance tracking should now be much easier. To add risk to action, we're changing and improving sounds when players pick up items off the ground. You will now hold the last wielded weapon instead of being barehanded when cancelling ally resurrection to quickly return to combat status. Smoke grenades will spread out much more quickly for better concealment. We've looked into a lot of updates today and hope that our players are satisfied with the changes. For our next episode, we're going to be giving you some of the updates on the current topics, as well as highlighting changes made to the guns, firearms, and other elements of the game. Guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this channel for more updates to follow. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.